Hi again, everybody. I'm Harry Donahue, and here's what's coming up today on Inside Golf. Today, we're going to be highlighting the best of Inside Golf from the year 2024. We're going to look back at some of the major events held by the Golf Association of Philadelphia and the Philadelphia section of the PGA. Plus, we'll revisit some of our favorite interviews from 2024. Our year in review, part 1, coming up next on Inside Golf. The 28th season of Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf, the first tee of Greater Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Association of Golf Course Superintendents, the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, and Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia section of the PGA.
Golf is the great equalizer. For many, this journey is an escape from reality. A chance to be part of a team. A career opportunity. PGA Reach impacts lives through golf by lifting people up, giving them hope, and sending them down an alternate path that they never saw coming. With PGA Reach Philadelphia, as in life and in golf, the most important shot you take is the next one.
The Golf Association of Philadelphia. Founded in 1897, GAP is the nation's oldest regional or state golf association. We serve amateur golf in Eastern PA, Southern New Jersey, and all of Delaware. GAP welcomes all golfers, junior or senior, male or female, public or private. Join the Golf Association of Philadelphia today. Our mission is always to preserve, protect, and promote the great game of golf. Before you tee it up, look us up. Visit gapgolf.org to find out more.
The year 2024 was a great one for the Golf Association of Philadelphia. You know, there were a total of almost 2.4 million rounds of golf played in the GAP region this past year, but none were more competitive than in GAP's 4 major championships. It all started with the Mid-Am Championship in May. That was at Commonwealth National Golf Club, where Zach Drescher won the 54-hole competition with a score of 4 over par. Zach entered the final day 2 shots off the lead, but opened his second round with back-to-back birdies, and he surged up the leaderboard.
I felt like I was playing good in GAP events and moving up and, playing better at more and more GAP events. So, yeah, it was encouraging, but I didn't think I'd win. I'm just, over the moon happy. Yeah, speechless.
Next on the GAP calendar was the 124th BMW Philadelphia Amateur Championship, played this year at White Marsh Valley Country Club. The champion was Austin Barbin. Austin turned in a dominant 9-7 win in the final match to secure the victory. Austin joined his brother Zach, who won the 2020 Philadelphia Amateur, making them the 4th set of brothers to etch their names on the J. Wood Platt Amateur Championship trophy. Austin also became the first to win the GAP and the Maryland Amateurs in the same season.
Match play is just, it's one of those things where you can't force a lot of things. A lot of, pars win holes, and that's kind of been my plan. And since the beginning of the week, and just stuck to it and wasn't trying to be too aggressive, and I knew that I was going to win holes and potentially win today. So.
Yeah, well, you took care of business, and your family already had one of these trophies. You were looking for your brother's name from, 4 years ago or something like that?
Yeah.
There it is, Zach Barbin. And now your name's going to be etched on that thing forever. Pretty proud moment for your dad, who also served as your guide around here with the bag.
Following the Philadelphia Amateur, the 120th Philadelphia Open was held in July at Applebrook Golf Club. It went to a 3-man, 4-hole aggregate playoff. But in the end, John Rusk from Lulu Country Club was the champion. He defeated Zach Drescher and Cedarbrook Country Club assistant pro Andrew Cornish. They entered the playoff at 4 under par. But after Rusk chipped in for eagle on the first playoff hole, Applebrook's 8th hole, he never looked back.
I don't know if it hit home yet, to be honest with you. I have never won a GAP major. I haven't really played in too many after I turned pro, but I've been thinking about it a lot this last year or so.
I failed as a professional, and I got a lot of scar tissue from that, and it helps peel some of that away, to be honest with you.
The final GAP major for 2024 was the 122nd Joseph H. Patterson Cup. It was played at Concord Country Club. 2023 William Hyman III Player of the Year Troy Vanucci from Little Mill took home the hardware. He finished the two-day event at 8 under par and added this victory to his personal GAP trophy case that has grown in recent years.
Anytime you can put your name on the hardware and GAP with all the greats that's come before us, pretty special. A lot of the late evenings, I give up a lot of social life, grinding on the range, but at the end, like the day like this, very rewarding.
Finally, the Golf Association held a one-of-a-kind event when the Adaptive Championship teed off in October. This was a two-day, 36-hole event that gave golfers the opportunity to showcase their skills while creating an inclusive environment for golfers with disabilities. This year, the event was held at Lookaway Golf Club and Doylestown Country Club.
Our aim is to promote, protect, and preserve the game of golf. So when adding adaptive golf to our collection of things that we do was a no-brainer. It's proving to people that we don't only have golf opportunities for amateurs and pros, but now we also have golf opportunities for everybody, and adaptive golfers included.
I never had like a role model to look up to in adaptive golf. I just see you can have bad rounds and still play good, and it's really just about the experience. It's all about having fun and really realizing we're making a change within the sport.
I'm happy to participate in this event because I found out a lot of players, and that make people with disability more view and more events. So I never see many players like this in this event, so I'm happy to participate in this event.
John planned his dream golf trip himself. The hotel didn't live up to the photos. His transportation was late, his clubs got lost, so he had to use rentals, which he is now breaking. But you booked your trip with All Access. They planned your hotels, food, car service, and tea times. Don't be like John. Be smart like these two.
Psycho.
All Access, the smart way to book your golf vacation.
Okay, fam. Quick stop in Montgomery County, but we have to be at Grandma's by 5 p.m.
Do we have time to stop at the mall?
KOP! Yes!
Do we have time to hit the slopes? Skiing at Spring Mountain. Do we have time for Santa?
If we have time for wildlife at the zoo!
Do we have time for food?
I have a list of 1,800 restaurants.
Yum! Do we have time for an overnight?
I feel like we're forgetting something.
When you spend the holidays in Montgomery County, your other plans can wait.
Honey, call them again.
Welcome back to Inside Golf's Best of 2024. The Philadelphia section of the PGA's had a long reputation of hosting highly competitive events for its professionals, and the year 2024 certainly continued that trend. Year in and year out, the event that most professionals have circled on their calendar is the Haverford Philadelphia PGA Classic at Sunnybrook. The winning pro receives a check for $100,000, and that makes it the largest winning prize for any Section PGA event in the country. The winner this year was John Pillar. John is from Woodlock Springs, and he defeated Kyle Early from Waynesboro and Braden Shattuck from Rolling Green. Here's a look at our special coverage of that event, which aired back in July. Got it?
Wow, that was such a good putt.
John Pillar.
That was rolling end over end perfectly.
Just had it drop in for the birdie three, and now all the pressure is on the shoulders of Kyle Early to keep himself alive. Yeah, John almost can't believe it, man.
Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart now for Kyle, but this is what you practice for.
Pressure, and he makes.
How about this playoff, Harry?
It will go to hole number 3. So both of these competitors with pars on the first playoff hole and lengthy birdie putts for Pillar and Early. And they'll head back to the 18th tee for another try. And playoffs part of the history here of the Haverford Philadelphia PGA Classic. Once again, the honors belong to John Pillar.
John hit a much better drive this time around. He'll be playing from the fairway.
Yeah, first time in the 3 playoff holes. Kyle Early with his tee shot. Looks like it's going a little left. Will it stay in the fairway? No, it will not.
Yeah, I can't tell if that's in the bunker or the rough, but that'll be a trickier shot.
First to hit from the middle of the fairway, John Pillar. And he puts it in there tight. He's got that mojo from that big birdie putt he made on the second playoff hole.
Feels like he's in the driver's seat all of a sudden.
Yeah, it was the bunker shot. Coming up next here for Kyle Early.
The good news is he should have a lot of spin on this.
Wow, what a great job to get it up there under those conditions.
Yeah,
but he'll putt first. Had a little backspin, but it didn't come back quite as much as he wanted. And sitting in the driver's seat literally right now is John Pillar. So downhill, little left to right break, Matt, on this 17, 18 footer.
It's going to be so speedy. Oh, boy.
Started to make a move right and then just kind of leveled out.
Just kept it on the high side, but that was a good putt.
So, Early will watch, like everybody else, as John Pillar prepares to make birdie and to win the playoff. Uphill, he's got about 9 feet. And he's got the championship. John Pillar, can you believe it? From Woodlock Springs, he has come back to win. Another marquee event for Philadelphia pros each year is the William Hyman III Memorial Classic, which is held at Huntington Valley. This year, Brett Walker from Chester Valley was the champion. Brett finished with a 4-under par 66, and he won by 2 strokes over Trevor Bensel from Sandy Run. This was Walker's first Philadelphia section win since his victory at the 2021 Philadelphia PGA Professional Championship.
Took a look at the leaderboard with a couple to go and knew I had a couple shots to play with, so wanted to make sure I continued my routine, looked at my target, and just hit it right at the target and tried to finish out strong. You know, every time you can hold a trophy, it's always a blast. So I'm pumped to be here, and it's a huge honor to win this trophy.
Walker continued his strong 2024 campaign with another big victory. He won the 103rd Philadelphia PGA Professional Championship held at Rolling Green. He led from start to finish and defeated Rolling Green's Braden Shattuck with scores of 64, 71, and 69. The highlight of Walker's round was a near double eagle on the par 5 7th hole when his second shot missed the hole by just a few inches.
It was up and down. It was a grind, and winning's never easy. And Braden and Zach made it tough on me, and I just tried to just hit the best shots I could, really. I mean, it's the only thing I could do is control my own game, not worry about what they're doing. And when I focused on my own game, hit my own shots, it started to work out pretty well for me. So.
Lastly, Marion Golf Club's Joanna Coe was the winner of the 2024 Women's Philadelphia PGA Championship, played at Union Lake Tarsdale. Joanna shot an impressive even par 70 and became the first 2-time Women's Philadelphia PGA champion.
Well, I know Donald Ross is an architect, and he can be difficult, let's just say that. So, it's usually, if you're above the pin, it's going to be really difficult up and in. If you're above the pin putting, it's going to be lightning. So I found myself in those scenarios a bunch of times, so just trying to be smart. So I didn't have a 3-putt, so I'm not sure if anyone else in the field had the same type of putting stats, so that's helpful. And chipping below the pin is a lot easier. I almost made a couple chips. So, just playing throughout the years, I know Donald Ross courses, you have to stay either below it or be really conservative when you're above the pin. So just kept that in mind the whole time and try not to get too cute on anything.
I'm Harry Donahue, and welcome back to Inside Golf's Best of 2024. We had so many great guests join the show this past year. One of them was UConn's women's basketball coach, native of Norristown, and a Hall of Famer, Gino Auriemma.
You coached, rather, several women who have been All-Americans. 27, I think, is the list. You've had 7 players who have named Player of the Year, and a couple of them have done it like 3 times. Why did they want to come to Storrs, Connecticut to play for Gino Auriemma? I mean, winning, they could win probably anywhere they went, these girls. But they wanted to play for you.
In the beginning, we couldn't get those players. In the beginning, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, we were winning with kids that were a little bit under the radar, that they weren't being recruited by the schools that were winning a lot. So it was a chance for them to get in on the ground level and say, okay, I want to help build something. And, what do you have to sell? You don't have the facilities, the school doesn't have a reputation, So what do you have to sell? You just say, hey, look, I'm going to give you a chance to play and build something from the ground up. And you want to play for me or not? That's basically what it came down to. And Chris Daly, my assistant, was a great recruiter. But it wasn't until 1990, 91 that Rebecca Lobo grew up an hour from campus. She was the National Player of the Year, and we got her to come to UConn. After that, then we were able to recruit a higher level player. And then after our first national championship in 1995 with a bunch of local kids, then we were able to recruit anybody in the country. So that's when it started, 91, but it really took off in 95 after our first national championship.
Right, and there for a stretch there, you won, I think, 111 consecutive games.
I know.
Back-to-back national championships. I mean, it was the brand for women's college basketball. And then the pressure to win, but I guess it wasn't that difficult, or was it?
Well, during that time when Connecticut and Tennessee were the 2 big names in women's basketball, that game was the one game that everybody in the country would watch, whether they were a women's basketball fan or not. And what ended up happening was, if you were a kid and you were one of the top 5 players in America, you were going to either Tennessee or Connecticut.
One or the other.
One or the other. And then winning, and then we won so much, like you're saying, 111 in a row, 4 national championships in a row, blah, 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 14 Final Fours in a row, that I made a comment one time. I said, the only thing worse than losing is winning all the time. Because if you win all the time, then people think that you should never lose. And they almost forget that there's another team that you're playing, and that's why we're keeping score, so that whenever we did lose, it was, what's wrong with UConn?
What happened to
exactly.
UConn?
Exactly. Not like, hey, the other team played great. It's like, you're not allowed to lose. It's like when Tiger didn't win. Remember, if Tiger didn't win a tournament, the next day in the paper, it would be Tiger loses. And at the bottom of the page, this is who won the golf tournament. So it was, it was that
90% of the article is what's wrong with this guy.
That's right. That's right.
Gordon Brewer, legacy man here at Huntington Valley. Gordon, always a pleasure to talk a little bit of golf, and especially today talking about the great Bill Hyman. You and he, I'm sure, competed a little bit in some friendly matches around these 18 holes.
Harry, we did. I learned a lot playing with Bill. He was a level above any of the others of us here. We had a number of pretty good players, but Bill was the elite player on a national and international level. And often when I traveled, people would reference Bill and Huntington Valley. So he really was responsible for, to some extent, on an international, national basis, of putting Huntington Valley on the map. We had a lot of friendly games. I played a fair amount with his youngest son, Tommy. We won the Hofner together several times. I only remember one tournament when I was paired with Big Bill, and that was the Philadelphia Better Ball. And, I don't remember when. It was only an 18-hole event. But if I remember correctly, Bill tied the field on his own ball. Of course, we won it.
You were along for the ride, so to speak?
That's correct.
Folks, meet Gary Cowan. Gary, it is an honor and a pleasure to be sitting here at Wilmington Country Club with you. Wilmington means so much to Gary Cowan. Thanks for joining us today.
It really does. I appreciate being here.
The reason why it means so much to Gary is because back in 1971, he won the U.S. Amateur for the second time. The first time he did it was 1966 at Merion, and then 5 years later, right behind us here on this beautiful golf course, you won the 71 Amateur, and you did it with style. And some people may say you shocked the golf world with the shot heard around not just Wilmington, Delaware, but around Canada and around the United States. What happened on that 18th hole in that match against Eddie Pearce to win it all?
Well, it wasn't really projected whatever. It was just a matter of, how can I say it? I was trying to check the scoreboard, which I couldn't do, and check the pin placement, which I could do, all that stuff, you know, and so on. So anyway, my friend from USGA, Phil Strubing, was sort of on my tail all the time, so I just sort of thought I needed to get relaxed a little bit. So, and then I just went out and knocked it in the hole.
Yeah, you had taken your tee shot on 18, and it kind of drifted a little bit to the left, almost wound up in a bunker.
I hooked it. I hooked it.
Okay.
It hit the bunker and bounced
I wanted
out.
to be a little more gentler, but
yeah. Well, I did. I was trying to hook it, and it went too far, and it hit the bunker and rolled out.
Right. You're about 135 yards from the hole, and your opponent, Eddie Pearce, he was already on the green in two.
No, he was finished.
So you take what, 9-iron?
No, it was a 2-iron now. It used to be a 9-iron, but now it's a 2-iron.
It's got a sense of humor, folks.
Anyway, I had been pretty good with shots out of the rough, thanks to a friend of mine, Al Balding from Toronto, Ontario. So anyway, I knew what to do, and I just closed the face, made a good swing at it, went straight up and into the edge of the green, started to roll, and I didn't know that it went in, but Howdy Giles did, because he saw it go in.
Howdy sees everything like that.
That's right.
So you made a deuce, and you won your second U.S. Amateur right here at Wilmington Country Club. 1979, year before the Super Bowl, you're at the height of your career. You're quarterbacking for the Eagles, and you get involved in golf.
Yeah.
I mean, you and John Bunting, another great guy here in the Philadelphia area, linebacker, JB. You purchased what is now known as the Abington Club. It was the old York Road facility years and years ago.
Nine old golf course sitting
right off York Road in Jenkintown.
611.
How did that ever come about?
It's kind of interesting because I'm a player, and you're totally focused. And when Dick Vermeil's your coach, you didn't like distractions. But I always in my mind was worried that my career was going to end. And by the way, the actual NFL career is 3.3 years. That probably shocks some people. The average NFL career is 3.3 years.
17.
So by the time you're 25, you're looking for another job. In the back of my mind, I was always thinking, I got to take care of my family. I got to find something I like to. And I always loved the golf. I loved the game of golf. I didn't know I was going to get into the golf business, but I liked the game. Tuesday, my day off, I'd play golf, So
you're only like, what, 26, 27 years old or something at that time?
Born in 51, so at that time, 28, 29 years old. So
that's a big step to make an investment like that.
And, I wasn't making the money the guys are making now either. So John Bunting and I were the investors in the property, and we were the managers of the property as well. So I learned the business, and Hugh Riley was our director of golf, and I learned the golf business from Hugh Riley.
Okay, and that was the first purchase. And then
first foray into golf.
What happened after that? How soon after that did you get into another course or courses?
1984, I bought the Tall Pines Golf Club in Winona, New Jersey. That was the first time I'd really bought a golf course and put my own hard-earned cash into the deal. And fortunately, I have an unbelievable wife who supported me 100%. She probably did more work than I did. I was still playing ball. And that kind of catapulted me into the golf business and realized it's a good business now. Nowadays, it's a great business because for whatever reason, COVID just jump-started the golf industry.
Sure.
And a lot of people are playing more than they did when I first got into the business. But I always felt I love the game. I love being around people. I like a cold beer every now and then. And golf just seemed to be a natural fit.
PGA Works is on a mission
to ensure that the golf workforce looks more like America. This mission is a dream with a plan. Through fellowships, college scholarships, career exploration events, and championship golf, PGA Works is inspiring talent from diverse backgrounds to pursue careers throughout the golf industry. Visit pgareach.org.
For over 2 decades, First Tee has created experiences that build character. We believe every kid deserves to feel supported, safe to try something new, and to be prepared for what comes next. We develop their swing, but more importantly, their inner strength. Because we know what's inside doesn't just count, it changes the game. Come join us at First Tee.
Hi, Tony Salucci with the Beacon Group of Companies. If your company has between 50 and 500 employees enrolled in your health insurance plan, there's a really good chance we can reduce your costs significantly and increase the benefits employees receive. How do we do it? We put you together with several thousand employers of a similar size across the country so your company can get amazing buying power. Schedule a conversation with one of our employee benefits specialists today at mybeacongroup.com.
That's it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. We'll be back next week as you get a chance to see the best television golf show in Philadelphia. We're approaching 28 years and counting, folks. Hey, remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, either on the golf course or off, don't pick up. We'll see you next time on Inside Golf. The 28th season of Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf, the First Tee of Greater Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Association of Golf Course Superintendents, the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, Jersey Man and Philly Man Magazine, and Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia section of the PGA.